Hi everyone! Welcome back to my video series where we explore the fascinating world of rattlesnakes. My name is Chelsea Martin and I'm a PhD student at Loma Linda University. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, rattlesnake behavior. Let's get started. Have you ever noticed a snake rapidly sticking its tongue out and wondered why? This behavior is called tongue flicking and is used by snakes and other reptiles such as lizards to pick up scents in their surroundings. Chemicals adhere to the tongue during tongue flicking and are brought to the roof of the mouth where they are delivered by each fork of the tongue into the pits of the vomeral nasal organ, also known as the Jacobson's organ in snakes. Snakes use the information gained by chemical cues in many different situations. During foraging, rattlesnakes use scent to identify a prey item and locate it. Once they find a location where there have been high prey activity, they coil up and sit and wait. Their coloration allows them to blend into the background so the prey can get into striking range without the snake being detected. After striking, their prey is usually released to avoid retaliatory injury. And then, rattlesnakes do something called chemosensory searching, where they follow the scent of the venom-injected prey to relocate it and subsequently consume it. Sidewinders are a local species that serve as a great example of a cryptic sit-and-wait forager. These snakes are found in sandy parts of the desert and mostly feed on rodents or lizards. They are characterized by the small horns above their eyes and their unique movement pattern. These snakes move sideways by throwing their body into S-shaped curves. When they are foraging, sidewinders will burrow down into the sand with just their eyes showing. If a rodent comes by, they will burst from the sand, striking the rodent. Rattlesnakes can use scent to identify and avoid predators. Rattlesnakes have many predators, including birds, large mammals such as coyotes, and even other snakes such as king snakes. Rattlesnakes use a cryptic strategy when interacting with predators as well. Snakes prefer to remain still, which can allow them to not be detected by a predator. If they feel threatened or pursued, many individuals will first try to flee. But rattlesnakes are not very fast and don't have good endurance. So, if fleeing is not an option, they will stand their ground and defend themselves. This is when we see them exhibit the classic behavior of tail rattling, S-coils, head elevation, striking, and biting. Rattlesnakes mostly mate in the spring and give birth in the fall, but some species mate in the summer and fall instead of or in addition to spring. Males will track the scent of females, and if two males encounter each other, they will engage in male-male fighting or combat. During this time, they will entwine around each other and try to slam the other's head to the ground. The winner eventually gets the opportunity to mate with the female, while the loser becomes reluctant to court females for days or longer afterward. Many people often think that snakes are not social, but this isn't true. Rattlesnake chemoreceptive abilities are so sensitive that they can identify their relatives through scent, and in some populations they actively choose to spend time with their relatives. For example, pregnant timber rattlesnakes in New York have been found to sit out and bask with their sisters, mothers, and aunts. Mother rattlesnakes exhibit maternal care, which is exceptionally rare in reptiles. After giving birth, the mother remains with her offspring a week to 10 days or so until their first shed, and after that, they all separate and go their own way. Several or more females often aggregate at birthing rookeries, where they may even help protect the offspring of others. In regions where it's very cold, snakes need to overwinter in dens, and some juvenile species of rattlesnakes have been found to follow the scent of adults to locate the dens and subsequently survive the winter. Southern Pacific rattlesnakes are an example of a local species that uses dens. Southern Pacifics are brown or dark brown to black with lighter colored rings. These snakes mostly eat lizards when young, then shift to eating rodents as adults, and are very common in the mountains and the chaparral and the lowlands. Snakes in the mountains often aggregate in dens where they overwinter communally. In lowland areas where it's not as cold, snakes don't have to aggregate and can easily overwinter in burrows or rock crevices. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned something new about rattlesnake behavior, and hopefully it's changed your perception of rattlesnakes as well. I know it did for me. Join me next week in the final video in this series where we talk about rattlesnake safety and conservation. I'll see you then.